Okay, and we're on. All right, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader and one of the coaches at TradeView Markets. Here we have our TradeView Market site. It is Monday morning, May 21st, no, May 23rd. It's a little after 11 Eastern. We're getting better with the timing, and I respect everybody's time, believe me, but it's not like I'm walking the dog. It's like 11, I said, a little after 11 Eastern. I start posting data maybe 5:30 Eastern. 6 o'clock Eastern at the latest. So 5, 6 hours, I have to go back and really and process what I wanted to do on this Monday morning webcast. Which, by the way, in terms of data, is the most important because it's the most important data that I put out. It's also consistent concession because I don't want to keep walking and then we run and stopping and starting. So I try to make all the information fluid. It's almost like, I will say it again, how I always compare it to an athlete's warm up. You know what I mean? They always like going through the layups first, and everybody takes a bunch of threes, and then they do some stretch. Well, maybe stretching first, but you get the point. So, all right. So here's the TradeView Market site looking better than ever. And the point I want to make is that, pardon. What we offer here at TradeView Markets, this TradeGATEHub is only one particular tab. And if when you punch in TradeGATEHub, and this, by the way, is how I log in just about everybody else, think about how extensive we offer you. First of all, there's the red tab, the red button for the YouTube channel, which even is another tentacle going out into TradeGATEHub, if you will. But even that, so this is just a TradeGATEHub room. We have the trading room. We have top news across the board from Forex, stocks, global headlines, market movers. I'm trying to get rid of all my other sites or queries, if you will, because the end result is, and we're getting there. And with the help of the team, we are going to get there. So you see what Forex is doing, commodities, crypto. Getting back to what I'm saying, that's just one tab. So if you go to our futures tab, for example, it's the same thing as well. So there's a lot to explore and look at on your TradeView Market site. It looks better than ever, I will say that. But you know what? I'm even go back here. Here's the routine, TradeGATEHub. I sign in just like everybody else. Okay, so Monday morning's data is the most important because I want it. It is the data that I put out. I want this to be dynamic, and I want it to, Monday morning's data as I post is before the open. So as you can see, for example, and I believe I post the short-term sentiment indicator as much as I can, if not every day. So here we go, for example. This was Thursday. Friday, we had that very late OPEX rally, if you will. It took like 60 handles off the market, which actually stalled a little bit of a rally today, if you will. It was a little back and filling. I don't mean to jump ahead, but I digress. Okay, so for example, this is where we came in on Friday. Okay, so now always keeping in mind, and it's always more. I'm not going to even apologize for being redundant. Go back. It's the red button. I'm going to call it the red button. Press the red button, and the coach and I always say, and it's one of our sayings, cliches, commandments. Excuse me, and especially in this market where this. I hate to be dramatic. This bleed out has been worse than even the .com bubble. All these other corrections that we have, the V-shaped COVID, okay, was one and done, clean slate. Even the 2000, when we're going into 2020, that late or 2018, going to Christmas, that was even kind of a one and done. This has just been that slow drift down, and even stocks like Amazon today are still, I'll get into it in a second, but. Keep in mind that sentiment and prices can stretch longer than this is an indicator. You know what I mean? Like I say, we set the table. The short-term sentiment indicator might be the fork. You know what I mean? Some people, use a spoon and knife. Hopefully, we all use napkins. So today, this is where we came in. So I'll get back to the screen in a second. So I want is the week. Suppose we're up. We finish up 2% today, so we would be about close to even. Then I always say it starts to be stock picking. So what I say is the most important information on Monday, and again, is that I want you guys to get the hang of it. I can teach you how to, how to swim, with the swimmels on, but eventually I want to take them off and have you go. So I'll stop pontificating. Here's the fear greed index, and I want to make something else clear. Here we are Monday going. I believe Memorial Day is this later, I think it's Sunday, whatever, it's this weekend. Aside from all the sentiments, you know what, even including that 80 to 60 point handle rally we had late on Friday, and today we're up 40 handles on, but that's 120 handles. That might have taken some juice out of the punch bowl for the rally, if you will. And I was even looking on Friday that we had a nice rally at the last hour, options related, if you will, but barely any of my stocks went. So I wanted to keep that in mind as well. Extreme fear and greed. Bank of Bull. I mean, this is part of the point that I wanted to make here, and I asked this to some of my peers that people have seen a little bit more than I have. Bank of America has a lot of older clients. Do you know what I mean? It's basically like it's like a compilation of everything. I know the younger people, if you will, they have Robinhood or whatever else is out there. But aside from the Goldman, who are high net worth people, the Bank of America people are really to the general public, or really the older, people that hold, still holding Walmart. So that's extreme bearish. It's not. I really don't put that much credence on it. Because it's really more the public, and the public. I know that everybody wants to buy low and sell high, but there are still things that seem to me weeding out. So that is a very bullish sign. But it's been there for 2 weeks, and stocks have been gone down 10%. So that's one thing. It's only an indicator. Credit default swaps, the real reason. Once again, go to the red button. I say it. I've been saying for 2 weeks every day. VIX futures. All right. So there's no fear. The whole thing that we were saying here is there's no fear, and there's no fear. I'm watching when I get up in the morning. I'm actually offering stocks that I'm down, and hopefully there's some news and it gets taken out. It's not like I'm getting up and I'm going like this. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put on some positions and walk away, which I don't walk away. Some people do walk away because they don't want to micromanage. But the VIX is in no man's land. I mean, it's still at 30, in my opinion. It should be at 40. But when the VIX is over 30, a couple of rules that I implemented myself. I don't know when the last time I implemented a rule, but without rules is chaos. And when the VIX is over 30, I'm not taking overnights, because there's a person in my, this is my pat my V on the back hour, but I can do a lot of things. But the one thing I do good is I take advantage of price discrepancy, either through an overnight or day trading. So when the VIX is over 30, why do I need to take any overnight risk? And then even the other rule that piles on is don't hold your losers and sell your winners. So it's just a whole thing, and it gets just messed up. All right. So the NASDAQ. All right. Where's the NAS now? I'm not even going to look. The NAS right now is all right. So we're up 1%. So the NAS is going to be new share. I want to take this one. Where's the NAS going to be? So the NAS is up here. Stock picking again. S&P futures here. My original point going to this is it's a Monday. Keep in mind, never short a dull market, but I'm not the judge and the jury, and the handful of people that I know, once again, don't set the bids and asks, but there's not a lot. Listen, even if you go over my Twitter feed, and I'm not the only one that's saying this, there's a lot, things are bidless. So people are willing, for this move down like this to take up. Nobody's doing much. You know what I mean? And even though the VIX might be that high, there's readjusting. There's small players. Amazon's still near 2,100. You're not you know what I mean? Walmart, after being down, 40 points, is up $2. Big deal. You know what I mean? And that gets into my other point. And this is it. I'm going to jump ahead because I don't want to keep going being redundant. Thank you, Coach, for posting. It's this. And Rev couldn't have said it better. Where is he? All right. Lots of traders think the sentiment is excessively negative, and they don't think it is. It is. Some things we go on is you have to believe in something. And I don't know if the fear greed indicator is actually empirical data, but when the mass uses it, I guess you can be. I mean, I guess that's borderline. I'm not that would be an interesting question. Anybody smarter than me can get that. But with that is a lot of traders think the sentiment is just excessively negative, and it is. And the conditions are ripe for a big bounce. And it is. Some things bounce nicely today. Microsoft's up 6. Wow. You know what I mean? Bitcoin up a little bit. Like I said, Walmart. But we bounce, but I don't think it will have energy. Too many are trapped bulls out there that want to escape. Like I said again, any losers that I'm holding when I wake up in the morning, I'm not looking. How you doing? I'm not looking to initiate positions. I'm looking, to offer out these stocks that I'm down in that, they come in with news and, like the stocks that I trade, like getting up. BXV was one of them, that LITM, any of these other ones, I actually am offering out and just want to get out of some things and then move on. And that's a good point that Rev made, that, a lot of, I'm not looking to, if I'm down 10% on something and it pops, I'm not looking to add. There's no new positions and I haven't taken any. I really haven't. Some things are looking better than they were. Don't get me wrong, but I'm still not convinced with Chevron breaking year, and Exxon doing things like this, and just too many macro situations right now. It never showed a dull market going to a holiday weekend, if you will, but nobody's doing much. So I'll jump back a second because I want to get into some specific trades. All right, going back to the Monday morning routine, even more importantly. Okay, VIX, NASDAQ, hedge fund exposure. Listen, go back. Anytime you measure whether underweight, except for this time, which is a rare time, they're not doing much. And you know what? That's evidenced in Goldman. We've been using this Goldman indicator back since, I always use it, but they're first of all, extremely light positions going back to December, this is almost June. 6 months they've been lightly positioned. So there is a lot of cash on the sidelines, but as you can see, nobody seems like they're missing much. I don't either, but I'm an active trader and I don't think I'm waiting to make that whoosh up and says I caught it and everybody, I was there that day when it's not happening. I'm just here because I want to, and it's my job. Equity put call, not even that. We want it over 1. Weekly advisor sentiment. Once again, it's signs for squeeze, but by no means the fear and greed being at 10, it should be down here when the fear and greed is down here. Schedule economic earnings, pin and tweet it. This is the rest of the week's playbook. And if you don't want to go by that, go by this. This is the playbook for Jim Cramer's right here. This is another good playbook. Boom. Jimbo. All right. And here's Cramer's his plan for the week ahead, including what earnings is coming up. AutoZone, Best Buy, Toll Brothers, NVIDIA's Wednesday. NVIDIA could be either the nail in the coffin or the catalyst that stabilizes things, literally. So that's Jim Cramer's plan. Go over it. What does it take? It 2 minutes and 1 second. You know what I mean? Come on, do it. Okay. Getting back to the routine again, and I don't want to be okay. One thing, and Coach actually put a check mark in. I always feel better. And again, the data that I put out I'm not biased. Helene puts out data. Whoever puts out data, everybody's in 100% cash. It's not like we're all Democrats and we're all voting one way. And she's bearish. She could be. She doesn't even. Helene's just a brilliant writer and gives data. I don't think she really has a strong opinion on the market. But when Goldman is lightly positioned, the most it's been in 6 months. When Helene's saying everybody's in 100% cash, when the hedge funds and the weekly advisor sentiment's lower than hedge funds right here. So everybody gets the picture. You know what I mean? There's not much doing. And you know what? If you come back in the market rallies, there's still going to be a lot of cash. Nobody's going to put it all in one thing. All right. Earnings this week. Go over to your own time. I don't mean to sound obnoxious. Key events this week as well. Coach, bravo with gold, Coach. Another one. Nice. All right. Helene's charts. These are macro views, but when you go to buying stocks and when things are moving, go over them. It's like they get embedded in your head. So when something moves, you're like, all right, XME. All right. So like gold, gold is part of the XME. I believe it is, Coach. XLE or Bandoleros. What I'm saying is you're ready to react and shoot that 3-pointer where you're going to make money instead of just sitting there and being, oh, wow, that's why it happened. We don't want to do that. We're avoiding futures breaking high. Nice. Chewy, giddy up. Carvana doing nothing. I'll get to it in a second. Boy, I have some bad ones, some dogs. But we held some good ones like Square. I'll jump back. Okay, upgrades, downgrades. Like I say, if I use Walter Bloomberg for upgrades and downgrades, he's probably good for other things as well. So put him on the Twitter feed. Russian ruble ripping. Go through macro charts again. Coach, thank you for posting Friday's movers and range for the active trader. If you don't want to hear me dissertate, about what I think qualitative, there's quantitative. Boom. SIGA, that was up on Friday. It's up. It was Sega opened at 18 today. What else? CMRX. I'll have to write that down. I sold that nicely. Didn't let my ego get aside. I'm not trying to hit home runs. I'm trying to get, put winners back on the board. And I know I'm not going to, do it all at one time. All right. Have some time to absorb the data. What else? Diddy. CMRX. They gave you the monkeypox stocks. What else? The Gamma Gang, Crash Risk. Things are moving 2% daily moves. Like I said, when the VIX is right now 29 and change. You know what? I'm tired of having my greatest asset or acumen, which is trading or swing trading, make up or try to make up barely for my worst, which is giddy up, which has been, holding a loser. Like I said, I believe I would buy every stock, maybe for a handful. I would buy every stock I would today based upon fundamentals. Everybody knows that a lot of stocks with fundamentals, the majority, 80%, what was it, Coach? 20% of them of the NASDAQ are trading below cash or something. I think, whatever the stat is. You get my picture, but it is accurate, somewhat of a stat. Lois, I know you like the mark. What else? NEM and Lilly wasn't for me. NTNX News, we wait for that to go all, what for Gerard, for what? 3 months today, it pops 20%. XOM hitting a 52-week high. Now, XOM is because, the oil stocks has become the new growth stocks. God forbid, now you want Amazon to catch up to Exxon instead of Exxon catching up to Amazon. It flipped. Amazon still near the lows. That's not good for the family. Not in it, but I'm talking about the NAS. All right, a little blue. That was 25 minutes ago. Or what? That was an hour ago. A little bull flow starting to mix in. And by the way, that was when the futures were 40 handles. Raw stores. If I was shorted, I'd hold a little of it, but I sold it at 70. Right, Lewis? Target may go. Target did not go. Walmart and the other ones. Any other questions? All right, so let me get to some specific trades and what I'm doing today. I also want to make some macro points before I leave off. All right, I know so much the risk has gone off in this downturn that most are afraid to miss the rally. I get it, but still is bidless. It's going to take, I don't know. Well, everybody assumes what catalyst it's going to take. It's going to take either Ukraine or China resolution or some major inflation or economic number, somebody to come to the rescue. Because as I said, let's go to charts. Everybody has scars. Some are internal, some are external. When Walmart had the biggest day at 7, I'm not going to keep repeating it, but it's something to keep in back of your head on a macro level, why I'm not putting any major money to work. This is Walmart and had its worst day. It's one day its worst ever did since, I see it's 11:20, I'm not going over, since the 1987 stock market crash. Everybody knows what's gone through the stock market to 1987, 9/11 included, okay? So this right here, when I go back and however old I'm going to be, this is a scar for Walmart. I can tell you going back here, I can tell you, I completely agree with the consumer staples, Lewis. You call my attention to this. I do agree with that. And I think you probably saw what was overbought and oversold. And the most oversold at the moment are consumer staples, Lewis. So I know what you're getting at. So what I'm doing here, getting back to the chart, I can see that 2000 right here. This was COVID. Hold on. This is COVID for Walmart. All right. Boom. With that line. All right. COVID. This is 2018. That was that Christmas right here. This is the financial crisis. So yeah, but the banks are a good feeling. So Walmart's a scar. Now it's going to take. Let me go at least a 2-year chart for Walmart. This is scarred. It's this chart. What happened with Walmart, like I said, wasn't like a software company saying we lost a big customer. This is a one-time. We'll make up for it. I mean, they're saying this is not what just happened that quarter. This is one of my opinions going at least two quarters forward. And I'm not going to be economized, but it's taking down other things as well. It's not helping the indexes. It's Amazon. I mean, this is the Amazon still below the bear flag. And let me go to my chart right here because I promised. My what's moving today. You know what? First of all, let me get back to the ES charts on the ES, and that's been our most important consistent thing. Here's our ES chart. Let's go back to a month. I did this before I came on because I want to get specific. All right. Pardon. Our levels, everybody knows if you go back here, and they've been pretty good. Everybody agrees, and I didn't split the atom here. This coach has been, I've been going back to coach's video to get some edification on what he believes as well. As again, all to my Twitter people. I don't know, we'll call them Twitter feed or whatever you want. There's only 51 of them, but they're good. I mean, these are quality over quantity. So go back and look at my Twitter feed as well. Getting back to the levels on TGH, and I posted them, and then I'll go back to what they are here. So correlate them to my chart. So we broke that 3960, and these are all the levels, base, base, base. So now it's this, 4,000 and 3980. Well, actually, it's 4035, and we're headed there. Let me go back to the main page here. So here we are. We just broke high. None of my stocks are doing that well, but that's okay. That's what happens when you have dogs. What's breaking high here? Apple and Microsoft, which were the best of breeds. Big tech. Lam Research, MU, Amazon still weak, Walmart one day bounce, BJ. All right, so where are these SIGA? Where are these monkeypox stocks, whatever you call them? Oh, it's SIGA and Euler's. Not looking bad either. SIGA. Not negative. Okay, so SIGA had a range from 8 to 15, doubled in 2 days. Everybody knows that was smallpox. Going into the weekend, everybody bought it going into the close. It went from 11 to 12. It traded huge in after hours. And I had CMRX, which I got up at 4 in the morning, literally, which I always do, by the way, but I actually had an intention of trading this one. I did my due diligence on CMRX. I said that I actually bought it, and then I did the research later. And then I found out that it really wasn't that good of a smallpox stock. I apologize. And if I'm yawning, I'm not going to apologize because I saved. Here's my trade in Sega. I sold 12,000 Sega this morning, the high of the day. Hold on. Chart parameters, outside of. So here's me blowing out of Sega between 290 and 270. The dog didn't mind me doing that because right now it's 220. So I had 14,000. A difference of 14,000, and that holding to think it's been the next Sega because it could have went to 6. So, you know what? I'm just trying to take money, out of those poor stocks that I'm stuck in. And this is the stock I'm stuck in, LITM. The other day it was 4. It's 3 now, Lewis. And I wasn't going to hold even. It's to hold the break even. It's one of these lithium stocks. ALB, I'm going to add to that in the fund today. That's the best of breed. I'm not in that. LTHM, the second best of breed on the launching pad. I wouldn't short that. And what's the other one? How about MP? All right, so this is what happens when you don't buy the best of breeds. Lithium, ALB is in the fund. I'm happy I'm in that one. I should, because in the long-term fund, I only have certain parameters. I don't short. I only do certain market caps. But LTHM, LITM, I tried to outsmart myself with one of these new hot IPO lithium players. And what my average price is what? 480. I'll take 4. Give me $1 in this thing. And I'm not hoping. It's a lithium play. It pops. You know what I mean? Boom. It sits down here at 4 and goes to, it doubles. So you know what I mean? I'm not adding to it. I'm literally at my threshold. And that's where we sit. Futures. AMAT is good for our is good for the coach in the semis. What's breaking high here? CF is going, Moss is going. So the whole left side of my screen, if you don't know by now, is a discretionary or anti-inflationary. GLD, the banks, oils, ags, and as Lewis has said, the XLI, and all these Dow stocks are up today. And why is that? Let's go to TradeGATEHub and why everybody should go through Helene's charts a little bit, maybe more seriously, if you will. Here's the chart on the XLI. And the XLI were the ones that were the most oversold. Like Lewis said, so are the consumer staples. I know what he's looking at. But the consumer staples, are they going to be? No, like here's Coca-Cola, Lewis. I wouldn't short Coke here because it's right against the 50. I'm not looking to short this thing now. It's right against the 50-day. It's right against. No, I don't like Coke there. I'd short Coke right here. I'd see better trades, but for a Coca-Cola, I have a 4-point range or 3.5-point range with, 20 million in the old days, I'd be active in this thing. Colgate had a lot of volume. Let's look at your KMB. Lewis, they're done. Not for me. CMG. Let's look for McDonald's. McDonald's, why that have a range today? Anything else? Today, bank's a good feeling. They're a good feeling. Why is Bank of America? Boom. Come up to resistance now. You know what I mean? Let's see. These things got a hold. It's only a Monday, whatever. Chewy, Twitter, LT, BRCC, killing the family. Another one, BRCC, Black Rifle Coffee Company, supported by Donald Trump, 35-9. I'm going to sell some today. It's got a huge short squeeze. That's not why I'm in it. The other day I was up in it. It went from, what it was, like 12. Just take two. Everybody was telling all of that one. Riven, no good. Tesla has a good range today. XPEV, I don't know why. It's because of China exports. That looked good. But again, any stock that comes that blue line, the 50-day is usually a good place to short. I love the 50-day shorting into it. Moss. You know what? Appreciate the question, G. It's all up to rotation. I mean, first of all, it's had its move. You know what I mean? If you're looking for it to do this type of move, it's done. This was the chance. Now Moss is more of a good day trading stock than it is. It's made its big move, but it's a good day trading stock to a degree, and it's more of a signal of what the rotation is than thinking it's going to go back to 80, which it might. But it's made its move. Zim. This is another one that's back in a bullish position. This one, I mean, this was a best of breed, if you will. Now Zim is over the 50-day. It's over the bull flag, and it goes with one of these shippers. You know what, somebody told me this other shipper, GNK, they mentioned it to me. Ooh. GNK is something that I would look to add. You know what, GNK, I would sock away a little bit. Let's look SBLK, the other shipper, at new highs. Let's leave it SB. So when the shippers are doing this, it's not a good sign for inflation it's not. And you know what? If the same person's trying to look at Amazon right there, yes, Microsoft up 6 today. Bravo. But you know what I mean? Come on. It's just, I don't know. Facebook. Come on. Twitter. Not even on speculation alone. Just look at Twitter. I thought I was a chump selling in the fund. I think I sold Twitter 50-50, and then I'm like, oh, wasn't it for 55? Now Twitter's 37. Where's the sign, G? What about Moss? You know what? I don't. Here's the chart on CF. I'm going to get through with the AGs. I don't like them here. ADM. You know what I mean? Moss is a best of breed. I would like it better at the 50-day, but you know what? Once again, I would only short these things in extremes because they still are in favor. They're still above the 200-day, but they are below the other ones. Good question, Owen. Nobody will buy it at 61. No. Matter of fact, they'll short it at 65, a little bit under that figure. Okay, let's go to my US mover list. What's near the high? If you can see this. Share screen. What's near the high and what has volume? That's all we care about. You know why? Because the macro views are what Coach is probably better at. What I've been preaching, and I don't want to preach, is we're trading. So the only thing we care about is price range, price action, good range, and volume. And we're going to look at what it has now. VMW had a takeover. VRGE, a one-time wonder. VRGE. That's a low floor that popped. FRGE. But you know what? It's a one-day wonder now. Here's the chart on FRGE. Everybody wants it to pop to go to 12 to 50. But it has, like this right here, one-day wonder. You want to either catch it or you don't. You either catch it or you don't. FRGE, for example. Let me tell you about these low floors and why I don't trade them and why I wake up in the morning and the ones that I do. Unless you're just trading FRGE and you realize, at 940 and you trade it from 20 to 22, you have to catch it perfectly. It made its move. So that's on the list. Big deal. AXL, red box back on the list. That pops every once in a while. EBS, a monkeypox stop. AMR goes with these AGs. It's not American Airlines, by the way. AMR. You know what it is? Yeah, this is what I'll show you. AMR. What is AMR? AMR is mining company. They can't take every lithium company, mining company out there, they take except Bell ITM. Boyle, GNK. All right. Now we're on to something. This GNK can go more. Because you know what? I've seen this thing go to 200. Here's a 5-year chart of GNK. I like this GNK. And I would buy this on the pullback. I buy GNK. I bought a pullback. I really would. Trade only. Probably, I think it goes to 26, 20. I think it goes to a new high. I do. GNK is a shipper. So you know what I do now? I go to what else? I go to my news on GNK. I go to, even though I do know what it is. Genco shipping stock is soared. Oh, so Barron is on it. That's a negative. Some CEO. Now they go a little bit. This just a couple of weeks ago. The guy's buying stocks. The director, a couple of directors are buying stock. It's not too late. B. Riley's Genco system to 31. All right, so GNK I like. It's not going to be, it's not a barn burner, but it'll teach if you get in it a stock that is a barn burner that has similar properties, you'll make money in. So get used to trading the good ones. That's stock with volume, right? It's got 50%, 100%, 1130. It's got range. It's got a good chart. So it might not work today, but stocks like these, I'm glad I'm ending off on a good point, will. Ross Stores could have been somebody. Still going up yet? I sold that thing. I know it too, but BTU, so they're taking up a little coal, but the chart doesn't look good. Now, Citibank up 333 through the 50-day. Now I got an interest, even though it's gone from 48 to 50. I'd like to settle back above here and fill for a little bit, but now Citibank has my interest. So now I go to the weekly. All right, broke the downtrend channel. Okay. Then I go to the other ones without even looking. Boom. So what's the Bank of America still going today? All right, testing the 10-day. So Wells Fargo. By the way, I wish we'd catch up. It's dead. JP Morgan, best of breed, had news today. All right. But the one that looks the best is Citibank. I think that has the most national exposure too. Let's look at MasterCard. Let's go to the payment providers. Sorry about the MasterCard. All right, against the 200-day. Something that the 200-day on MasterCard is just as important as the 50-day on Citibank. We'll go back again. The 50-day on Citibank. What's Visa doing? All right, so you see it's evident there. All right, so let's go back. FAST. What is FAST? Everybody knows that's a triple ETF for banks. Ross Stores, Cenex, JP Morgan, TTI, Citibank, Bros, can't catch a break. I bought the wrong coffee company. Should have bought Dutch Brothers in the hole. But that was only because it's destroyed. That's not really my type of trade, just for day trader too. I don't hold those. Goodyear Tire, I saw it was active. Docs is acting well. What's weak? Wimmy. Nothing really jumping off of me that's weak. Well, actually, things are down 5%. NU, no bounce. Wayfair. They can't take Wayfair up. We sold it. We knew something was wrong. We knew something was wrong the other day when it couldn't go. If you go back and press the red button. Wayfair. That's because Amazon. Wayfair. Look at this thing. I'm the only guy that covered it at 300. Oh my God, what a rounded thing. Boom. Rounded. Below. What are you going to do? Trade's over, but that now Wayfair becomes a macro situation, not a trading stock. All right, let's go to we'll leave off what's the active feed today with the big boys doing, besides me and Coach. Okay. Stay nimble in trading seems appropriate. I don't know what that means. Let's see what the big boys are doing. Okay, Soxel calls. That's bullish. On the stocks, on the semis. Soxel positive. Coach. Semis lead the market. Soxel good range. Not bad. All right. That's Soxel, what I was looking at right there, by the way, if I wasn't sharing screen. Soxel, I want things to be flying. Apple bullish. Facebook calls. Plug bullish. SPY bullish, UVXY bearish, 4 minutes, AMD's calls. So I like what I'm seeing so far. Starbucks calls, Mo bullish. I want Mo to be bearish. Oxy bullish, NTNX, we mentioned it, JP Morgan. All right, so I'm seeing some bull flow here. Let's where the market is before I sign off. All right, breaking high as we should. So 39.70. What's our next level we're looking for, G? All right, 39.70. Let's go to our charts for a week at least. So 39.70, they went past. So we're looking for 39.80. Then we're looking for 40. Yeah. All right, we're good. So I got to get going. Any other questions, gents? All right, listen, it's only a half a day gone here. You're not going to make it in like that. You're certainly not going to lose it. Oh, you could lose it. I'm getting distracted. So Chewy's positive going for the family. BRCC, TNA active. Here's my screen. What I'm looking at now. All right, what's breaking high? Display, ticker row. Okay, BHC is breaking high. Microsoft breaking high. DLO breaking high. Alcoa breaking high in the fund. Even coin. So it's Microsoft. Now I want to make a point here. It's Microsoft, Oracle, Lucid went positive. All right. So in this type of market, and I do want to make a point here. IWM is acting well. Is I did post this, thanks, coach. When I do post option activity, it's not, I don't want to be an obscure stock. I don't do that, but I did want you to put in this to make a point. A little bull flow starting to mix in. Looks like some big tech and energy. And that's really, and that was what? That was an hour ago. And what I want, my point being is that was the, I don't, that was a macro thing of what you might do in the market. I didn't think the market would go like this to a degree yet. It's going nicely, but that's what went. And that was like the Tim theory. If you bought that when I posted that, it was also like the buy green. It was green all day, and you're not hoping for, TTT to reverse or a SAN to finally go up, although coin is going. Alcoa making highs. That's in the fund. BE, so taking a plug. Remember I said plug had some action? So plug had some good play. What's Carvana doing? We're in it. Twitter, we're going to get it even. Chewy, we bought in the hole. LITM can't go. Oracle, big cap. TQQ's going. SPYs, ES. Here's the ES chart. Actually, let's use the SPX at 39.70 as we're getting real-time action. SPX. So we're coming up to the 8-day, which nobody really cares about here. But we could break this downward channel and then, continue through 4,000. Once again, it's a slow day. It's a slow week. Like nobody thinks they're going to miss it, even though they're fearful. So, you know what I mean? We got a lot of earnings coming out. Always go through Fridays, the red button, if you will, on our YouTube channel. Go out what we set up there. Just always remember the Fed is against us right. The Fed is against us right now. There are a few positive catalysts, but if they do, they could be, double-digit percent move. So like I said, stay nimble. Here's a chart. Stay best of breed. Because you know what? It seems like in a market like this, that's what's going to work. If people are going to be wrong, they want to be wrong. Stuck Apple and Microsoft, and even AMD is going positive. Owen Semiconductor. Google. Listen, maybe Amazon is going to be a key because if they take up Amazon, it's going to show me that's more of a short squeeze than anything, than more of them saying Amazon is fairly valued here, because it really isn't. But if it starts to go positive, then that just mean the general flow of the market in general. So I'll leave it at that. So I went a little bit overboard, the Moss breaking high. Yeah, Citibank breaking high. Stick to the best. Chewy, Carvana, Ross Stores, Plug going higher. General Motors going higher. CPE. The stock of the day, and it's like I said, it's Chevron right there, and it's ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil's a new Apple. It's almost like a bank now at piece. So it's so thick and liquid, and it's almost like a dividend stock. So it does pay a dividend. So cheers. We'll leave it at that, guys. Any questions? I'll answer afterwards. It's 11:40 Eastern. I went a little overboard, but I can't apologize because I'm psyched to trade when I get back. So cheers. I'll get all questions afterwards. Always have a plan.